Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters video. Alright, let's go ahead and let's do another entry here. This one yet again based on one of your newer suggestions, and this one also following what could be yet another either long lost dinosaur or a variation of a dinosaur through evolution, or it could just be a whole new species altogether. And yet again, this one is also found there deep in the forests of Africa. So quite a streak when it comes to my videos focusing on those themes this go around. This is a very dangerous creature as well, not something that you necessarily want to go on the hunt for, because if you do, then there's a good chance where you'll actually become the prey. In fact, it's been known to hunt for people, specifically when it comes to its food. So pretty dangerous creature, and it has to do with this. It's a cryptid that's known as the Gbahali. I'm hoping that the G is silent, and so that's how I'm stating it here, but if it sounds different, then please someone post it below. So let's go ahead and let's talk about all the fascinating info associated with this very deadly cryptid. So what is this Gbahali? Well, again, it's a creature that's found deep in the forest of Africa. Specifically, you have to go to West Africa and to a place called Liberia. So that's a place that's just a little bit south of Sierra Leone. And if you go there, you're going to find very, very thick Amazonian type rainforests. And if you go all that way in there and you're supposed to reach some rivers, these rivers, the more remote ones, the ones that are further away from villages, even then, the villages themselves being remote, then that's where you'll find this creature. Although I was reading that there's some circumstances when there's a large amount of rainfall that causes lots of areas to be flooded, then it seems to move further out from its location as well. So as far as the characteristics of this creature, let's go ahead and let's talk about that here. It looks like to me like a souped up crocodile, like a supersized version of a crocodile. And when I say that, it's this. It has the same characteristics of a crocodile, a long body, along with these, I guess you'd call them spikes or some kind of things on top that look like spikes that are very much armor-like. In fact, they're in 3 rows specifically. They go down the backside of it, and then it has, of course, this gigantic jaw with an elongated head to it as well. Very long, thick scales as well, along with a tail that also extends backwards. But to me, at least, the most unusual characteristic, the one that stands out, happens to be its quote-unquote legs. These legs are more bigger than a traditional crocodile, much more longer, much more sturdier as well. So it definitely gives it an advantage when it's running or when it's on the pounce. We've all seen crocodiles, or at least footage of crocodiles online or to TV whenever they're on the hunt. They can actually go pretty quick. It's not too far. It'll be short little spurts, but when they do so, they come out and then they chase something. Either they're coming out of some kind of river or maybe some kind of foliage that they happen to be sneaking under. But when they do so, they move very quick, very, very quick. And it's for a short period, but it's enough to capture their prey. Or imagine something like that, but this 20 to 30 feet long. In fact, it's its supersized length, and then with those powerful legs, it should be able to run or jump at a much longer distance. And so when I was mentioning that it was pretty deadly, it definitely is. This is a creature that uses its powerful predatory-like characteristics for the kill. In fact, the information I was reading, and I'll include the link for it below, seems to include not eyewitness report, like a direct report from the person seeing this, but more along the lines of a person reporting what others have seen. And so this person, whoever it was there in Liberia, working there, an American, and when he was there, he was able to talk to a lot of villagers. And the way it taxes this, it'll come out all of a sudden from somewhere, a pouncer of sorts, and it'll grab its prey. It'll use its powerful jaws to latch on to the prey, and then it actually takes it back into the water. So rather than, let's say, ripping up the prey right then and there, all savage-like, no, in this case, it just takes it back into the water and lets it drown. You'll notice that's actually what crocodiles do as well. Watch any of that footage online, and then you'll see it'll grab its prey and then take it deep into the water to let the water do the work afterwards. It makes sense. Why waste all that energy, all that time, all that danger to this own cryptid trying to attack and basically kill its prey, when it can just let the water do everything for it. And when it does that, then that's it. The person or whoever happens to be the unfortunate prey, it's over. In fact, some of the villagers have stated that that there's in this case the remnants of an attack where you'll find skulls or pieces of bodies associated with the unfortunate victims of the Gbahali itself. And then another interesting thing to note is these same villagers actually hunted this creature within that area. When I was reading that info, it definitely stood out because it's one of those things, again, where you're wondering, well, here's a perfect chance, yet again, to showcase something in terms of physical evidence, bones, even skin, maybe even a skull, something along those lines, something where you could have proof of this long lost dinosaur, if it is one, or some kind of evolutionary cryptid. And in that way, we'll have definitive proof of the existence of it. But no, unfortunately, what happened was this is apparently a delicacy or something very rare that's sold there within the markets. And so once one of these is captured, one of these Gbahalis, then it's pretty much cut up, it's butchered, every single part of it, and then it's sold within the meat markets there within the local villages. And when that happens, then it's gone. There's nothing else really associated with it. There was apparently proof of a skull, something involving remnants of one of these Gbahalis, but it was destroyed whenever one of the villages was attacked by a local group of rebels. And so there goes the proof right then and there too. Although interestingly enough, the Americans showcased pictures of a dinosaur called the Postosuchus, if I'm saying that correctly, and when they saw this picture, they all agreed that yes, this is how it looked like. Maybe it was off just a little bit. Maybe it was, as they described, the legs were a little bit more erect than the traditional crocodile, but they stated that yes, this is how it was when it came to this creature. It just shows proof again that this could have been something involving a long lost dinosaur that just happened to be there and stayed within that location all this time. Now, the interesting thing to note, as far as its attacks, it's pretty recent. In fact, there was one as close to as November 2007, so about a good 12 years ago as of today, where in one of the villages there was an attack by one of these Gbahalis, and then when that happened, then it caused, there was a person there that was killed, and that's where they found evidence. In fact, some of the local police there from the United Nations went to investigate, and then that's where they found the remnants of, in this case, a man's head, so a few body parts here and there, and ever since then, it's been at least the most recent attack. Everyone within that location there in Liberia absolutely fears and probably respects this creature. The easiest way to avoid it, if you happen to be around that area, is to just stay away from the riverbanks. Stay away from the areas where they have isolated bodies of water, because if that seems to be its locale, that seems to be its main mantra when it comes to its attacks. And it makes sense too. If it can't really do so well hunt-wise, let's say involving forests or any type of shrubs, then it'll do so within waters, and it seems to be its preferred location. It'll just stay within those cool waters, and then that's when it'll come out on the attack. Plus, it creates that weird mirror-like image where if you're in a body of water, you really can't see what's underneath you, but what is underneath you can definitely see you, and that's where it definitely makes sense for this creature to stay there. So yes, just stay away from the riverbanks. When I was reading it, it made it seem like it was more also like one of those tales that you would hear mothers and parents tell their children, as a way of kind of like keeping their children safe from any kind of unfortunate circumstances. Stay away from those rivers, and then that way you'll be able to have a good chance of not running across this creature. And then there's even this, apparently one of the meeting houses there within one of the villages that was used where it's at that very place it was constructed and has been used ever since then, where a Gbahali was killed. So how about that? If you happen to go to that location, wherever that is, that town meeting house, and you see it, you'll know that where it was built on top of where a Gbahali was killed. Who knows? Maybe if that actual meeting house were to be, I don't know, later on destroyed, and then you could see underneath the ground, maybe you'll find some remnants, in this case, of the legendary Gbahali. But what do you guys think? Anything else that stood out? Anything else might have missed with regards to this dangerous creature, this absolute alpha type predator associated there deep in the jungles or the Amazonian forest of Liberia? If there's something else I might have missed, please post those comments below. Anybody from that area too? Lots of eyewitnesses apparently over the years, again, that have seen this, so much so that there's fishermen, villagers, even people, again, buying from the local meat markets, all of those that have come across, in this case, remnants of this Gbahali. So if anyone knows any more information, maybe anybody that worked there around that area like that American did on the link below, then also please post those comments too below. So, all right, everybody, thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.